Hello, this is Brian again. Welcome to clip number 2. I'm actually at the trailhead now. So this is the Morgan trailhead. This road's getting ripped up by these tree roots. Oh well, it's nature. So, we got the trail. Always pass by this trailhead and always notice these beautiful little pines here. Most of them are not native. Actually, that's Pinus halepensis, Aleppo pine. Got a few Aleppo pines here. This is actually its close relative, Pinus pinea. It sounds like stone pine, just in the same group. Young Aleppo, however, that guy, that is a native. That's coulter pine, Pinus coulteri. So, we got some trails. I'm going to go start following this trail here. Looks like there's something that goes off that way too. Pretty interesting. So I'm going to go follow this one and start my Morgan Trail hike. I know there were quite a few videos about this trail, but I hope to add my own special touch. Of course, you know, I'm going to be talking about the plants along the way, so hopefully that'll add a dimension of interest to this as we start plunging into the chaparral. I believe the first stretch of this is going to be a downhill down into the canyon. I want to say Lion Canyon. I think it's going to be Lion Canyon, I believe. And eventually we're going to hit the San Mateo Peak Trail, and we're going to start breaking away from the canyon and going to start eventually climbing uphill. We're in a nice, very mature stand of chaparral here. So that's definitely going to add some interest to this hike and a little bit of early morning shade. One thing I remember about taking this trail, I did this hike on March 19th, 2017 when I hiked, and these guys were in full bloom. Well, actually a little past their peak actually, but they still had a lot of flowers on them. This is Ceanothus crassifolius, variety crassifolius, hoary leaf ceanothus, and these will create quite a spectacle. They're starting to bloom now. Actually, they're really starting to put in their flowers. Did spotlight on this shrub back last February or March, so take a look out for that video if you're interested in learning more about Ceanothus crassifolius. And we got Arctostaphylos glauca. We got big berry manzanita, which you will find periodically here in the Elsinore Mountains and also in the Santa Ana Mountains. But they seem to be, in my experience, more prevalent here in the Elsinore Mountain side. And you'll find some nice specimens as you go down towards Wildemar Campground. There's some nice specimens. Where I did a spotlight on that one was in the very edge of Wildemar Campground. That was a really nice specimen of Arctostaphylos glauca. And of course, common chamise, Adenostoma fasciculatum, variety fasciculatum, holly leaf redberry, Rhamnus ilicifolia, a very nice tall specimen. And of course, there's quite a bit of sugar sumac or sugar bush, Rhus ovata. We're at an elevation of about 2,800 feet here. And like I said, we're going to lose elevation a little bit. I'm not supposed to lose a whole lot. I've never actually hiked, like I said, I never did San Mateo Peak from the Morgan trailhead itself. I did it from a little ways back, actually. Little ways up, well actually a little ways that way. Kind of short distance. Maybe about 2 or 3 football fields down the way. And I found an old fire break that led down into the shade of some oaks. And then eventually found my way by poking around a little bit to get to the junction, and eventually found my way to the San Mateo Peak Trail. So yes, we're heading down canyon right now. Eventually we're going to make our way towards that oak woodland. So that should be pretty nice. It's not really hot or anything. It's just a little bit warmer than it should be this time of year. So, in most of this hike, there's going to be a shady part of this hike down in the canyon. But then, eventually we're going to break out into chaparral, and it's going to be sun exposed pretty much the rest of the way up to the peak. I remember it's very, very sun exposed, and there are a few sharp ups and downs once you start making your way up towards the higher portions of the hike. I'd rate this hike as moderate. Nothing more than moderate. But there are a few tricky, sketchier spots up towards the ridge. Getting closer to the peak. So you'll have to watch your footing in some spots. But let's see. And also, since we're heading down into a mesic area, which is kind of a term for a moister, more water retentive location, poison oak, I don't remember having too much issue with it, but it might be found, or probably more likely will be found, especially once we get down to the canyon. So be prudent to keep your eyes on that. This time of year, I don't know, it might be leafing out already. A lot of our deciduous trees and shrubs are already leafing out because of the really hot weather. Well, I thought this was poison oak, but this is skunk bush, or skunk brush, Rus aromatica, which is a remarkable look-alike. It looks kind of similar even when it's leafless and dormant, like it is right now. So now, here we are, heading down into one of the wooded spots that will make this part of the hike quite enchanting. Though I think the fragrant chaparral, blue curls and black sage mixing in with all the chaparral plants, it gets very fragrant on the sun-exposed ridge hike. But now we're heading down into this little enchanted woodland here. Nice. Yeah, I don't remember. I had not been on the Morgan Trail at this point yet, so this is all new to me. There's something sad right here. Imagine how humongous that coast live oak used to be. That would have been probably one of the largest coast live oaks I had ever seen in these mountains. Usually here in these mountains are usually pretty moderate sized, but that, imagine how freaking huge that tree was. Oh, that's so sad. That thing was a monster. That thing would be rivaling some of the huge canyon live oaks I saw at Palomar Mountain. And those trees get huge. That was a huge coast live oak. It's really sad to see it gone. That was a humongous coast live oak. Pretty sad. A lot of skunk bush along here too. And we got the willows. They're already starting to get their flower buds. So this area is in and out of the shade of coast live oaks. So enjoy this part while you have it. Once we start getting up from the canyon, it's going to be quite a toasty experience. Well, I'll see you at the junction with the San Mateo Peak Trail. This is gorgeous over here. I love these little live oak woodlands here in the middle of the chaparral. It just adds another level of beauty to what's already an awesome area. Alright, I'll see you on the next clip.